The Wisconsin Badgers swept Notre Dame last weekend and in the process secured home ice for the first round of the Big Ten playoffs, the first time the Badgers have hosted a conference playoff series since 2013. On Friday night at the Kohl Center, Christian Fitzgerald and David Cilia scored 15 seconds apart to tie the game at 2. They were trailing by 2 at the time, and then Cilia scored a minute 18 into the third before Carson Bantel's empty net goal finished off a 4-2 victory. And then Saturday, Simon Tassi with a power play goal snapped a 1-1 tie midway through the third. Freshman Sawyer Scholl with a big goal. The Badgers then hung on for a 3-2 victory and swept the regular season series from Notre Dame. And now the Badgers hope to do the same to the Buckeyes this weekend in Columbus. I'm Brian Posick, and head coach Mike Hastings joins us next on the Badger Hockey Digest.
Dear winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 3.99% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2024 Toyota RAV4. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
Well, Mike, you swept the regular season series from Notre Dame, and you also clinched home ice for the first round of the Big Ten playoffs. It's been a while since the Badgers have hosted a conference playoff series. That's a feather in your club's cap. Congrats.
Well, thanks. It was a goal that we wanted to accomplish this season, was to be able to play at home in front of our fans. They've been very dedicated to coming out and supporting us. So anytime that you can secure that at this time, I think is an accomplishment, but we've got a lot of other things on our plate that we want to get done.
Yeah, certainly. So I know you said after the series that your team played connected. Can you explain that to us?
Well, one of the focuses we had going into last week was, we started to kind of run away from the puck instead of to it. When we give our defensive core more options, whether it's a middle of rink, on the wall, partner, and even on the weak side, we have a tendency to hold on to the puck a little bit more when we're entering the offensive zone, and I thought the guys did a better job of that. We want to utilize our ice sheet as much as we can. I thought that was important.
Yeah, you also prevailed against a hard, heavy team. They can really hurt you, can't they?
Yeah, it was physical. We felt that a little bit this week, early in the week, but we're looking forward to what we have in front of us. We're going to we've got to go into two places that are hard to be successful in Ohio State and Penn State over the next 2 weeks, so we've got our work cut out for us.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Badgers lost Owen Lindmark to an injury. Hopefully he'll return soon, but you got Cruz Lucius back, and boy, is he a difference maker.
Yeah, he is. There's a reason our record is what it is when he's in the lineup and what it is when he's out of the lineup. He's a guy that from day one has made an imprint at this university as an offensive player. Really like that he's rounded out his game a little bit more this season, and he helped us offensively on Friday get going, and hopefully that can continue into this weekend.
Yeah, the Badgers have 6 games left in the regular season. The Wisconsin women's hockey team has 2 weekends left in the regular season, and Mark Johnson's loaded with playmakers. Let's take 2 minutes with Wisconsin women's coach Mark Johnson. Well, Mark, your club's playing well. You've won 13 games in a row with 4 regular season games left to play. You got to be pleased with how your club's playing right now.
Yeah, I complimented the team Monday at practice, especially the last 8 games where we were on the road for a bunch of those games, and they stayed with what we were trying to do, trying to get off to fast starts. And the one game that really sticks out is the second game up in Duluth, where we came back being down a bunch of goals and we're able to pull one out. But those are 8 tough games the second half of the season. Did well in them, and now you're in position with Minnesota and Ohio State back-to-back to finish off the regular season, which isn't going to be an easy task, but again, it gets you ready for the playoffs, which is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, the Badgers defensively have been rock solid, offensively lead the nation in scoring, and you have the top 2 scorers in the country. Actually, 5 of the top 15, 4 of the top 10, but the top 2 are Kirsten Sims and Casey O'Brien. Boy, they're playing well together.
They have. Casey's been very consistent, really, in her career, and this year is no different. She's since Christmas. I mean, she's playing at a different level, and obviously the goals and assists are coming, but her consistent play has put her in that position. And Sims is a goal scorer, and she's a great passer, and so she's a sophomore, more comfortable, a veteran, experienced, and I think her numbers show that.
Yep. Minnesota comes to town this weekend. Top-ranked Ohio State will be here next weekend to wrap up the regular season. Then the playoffs begin at LeBron Arena. But you've got the Gophers first. You split with them in Minneapolis. It'll be fun, and this place will be jam-packed.
It'll be fun, and that's why we do what we do. Whether you're a coach, or you're a player, or a fan, you get excited for these weekends. Our last 2 games up in Minneapolis were their biggest crowds that they've had, and so a lot of electricity, a lot of excitement in the rink. It's going to be no different here Friday night and Saturday afternoon. So for some reasons, it's a little easier to get up for those games because you know how much enjoyment there's going to be in it. But that's why the players practice hard. That's why they work out, and they're getting treated to this experience. And that's part of what we try to do, give them these experience. And this weekend's going to be a unique one.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at HighVe. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the HighVe Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the HighVe Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for HighVe Perks. It's free and easy.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
You knew all about what Mark Johnson was doing with the Wisconsin women's hockey team before you came here, and now you get to see it, and boy, he does a tremendous job with those young ladies.
He does, and I want to give credit not only to him, but really his entire staff, because they've had to battle a lot of things that people don't get to see, which is injuries throughout this season, and they just continue to march on. And what they're doing now in the last 2 weekends that they have with 2 of their biggest rivals, with Ohio State and Minnesota, a very important weekend so that they can get to where they want to get to trying to compete for another championship.
Sure. Tip of the cap to Dan Cook and Jackie Friesen as well. All right, you head to Columbus to take on Ohio State. The Buckeyes in last place in the Big Ten. They've lost 7 in a row, and that doesn't matter to you or your players. It should, right?
No, they're going to be excited. We've talked about this multiple times about trying to win series throughout the season, and this is an opportunity again for us. When we came in and played them last time in our own building on Friday night, I thought that they had the better of the play early, and thank goodness that Kyle McClellan was on point because he allowed us not to get too far behind. So we're going to have to get off to a good start, hopefully finish this week, and then be excited about playing on Friday on the road.
All right, the Badgers and Buckeyes face off Friday night at 5:30 and then Saturday at 3:30. That game is on the Big Ten Network. Both games are on the Badgers Sports Network and the Varsity Network app. For Mike Hastings, Mark Johnson, Jay Williams, I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,